Welcome to Fopiano Performance. My name is Piero and I'm the CEO of Fopiano Performance, where we build custom cars, whether it's a hot rod or say something like a 32 Ford, or anywhere to say even muscle cars. We do it all, and this right here happens to be a muscle car which we built. This is car number 4. She actually has a name. We believe every car has a personality, and this is Shelly. Shelly is a 70 GT Torino from the factory, and she actually came from a wrecking yard and was running at the time, but we decided to do some crazy things with it. And we also at Fopiano Performance believe that we should get the best out of performance, so we like to run the new stuff with the old stuff, keep the car as stock looking as possible, but yet with the latest and the greatest in horsepower. As you'll note here in the engine, and Clay will show you, that we're running a 32 valve Cobra camera motor. This one is known as the Trimmer, which is the same motor that the Mach 1s run. Not to be so much mistaken with the one in the Lincoln, though we do have a mid-rise intake here from a Lincoln, because we're going to put a shaker on here, which we're going to show you later in video, the process of the construction of that particular item. So you'll see here we had to do some surgery to stuff this behemoth of a motor due to the width of the engine with its cylinder heads. When you look at the shock towers here, these are from a 90 Ford Thunderbird MN12 car. In order to do this, you could use one of 3 particular vehicles, all the MN12 chassis, which would be a Cougar, a Thunderbird, and of course the Lincoln Mark 8. And as we come around the corner here, you'll see that also that the radiator support is all custom built and fabricated to house this particular setup which we have in here, including the radiator and whatnot. And ID tag is showing you right there. So now we're going to come around the corner and show you the other side of the suspension, the business end, where this car handles like a dream. This is the MN12 front suspension with cross-drilled brake rotors, and it's running the Mustang hubs, so we can have the 4.5 lug pattern versus the 4.25, which is what the MN12 cars normally fit. So you can see the strut and the coil, control arms, and all that good stuff inside there. So if we move over this way, we're coming around the car, we're going to pop the door open, and we're going to show you some things we did inside the vehicle. Pretty cool stuff. We did a custom IP for the car, obviously, with all the changes that we did. We wanted to look as stock as possible, so we went with the nostalgic face on the gauges. These are Equus gauges, and we played with the lights a little bit too, so you can see the check engine light, amp light, and brake light. Those are all check lights that this vehicle never had from the factory, although I think it did have a brake light, but obviously not an amp or check engine. And this car is an OBD2 vehicle, and if you swing over by the passenger side there, you can show them the OBD2 plug. There you go. That's where we do all the programming and flashing and upgrading as we play with the car. And also we did some other aluminum work in here to match the IP on the glove box door, which has actually been autographed by one Carol Shelby. And on the center console as well, where it down on the center console, you'll see where it's been also autographed by one Steve Saline. So that's pretty much the inside of the car, and then of course the custom steering wheel kind of went with the whole package, and we were lucky enough to find a horn button with the Cobra on it. That was a real cool touch. What do you think, Clay?
Yeah, it looks good.
When we come over to the back of the car, we also did some on the paintwork. We went with the Italian font where it says Torino. After all, Henry Ford's favorite wife was from Torino, Italy, and that's where this car gets its name. A little history for you on the car itself. And as we head over to the trunk, you'll see that, oh, yeah, we have another fuse box here. This is for actual power ports in the car. Again, giving a car from 1970 the modern comforts of today. And right around there you also see the fuel pump relay, and right over there is the inertia switch for the car in case of an impact. You never know what happens when you get silly with these cars. And the trunk looks basically stock, except for the fact that we do have the battery in here. And oh, look, there's the magazine. This car actually made it into Hemmings Motor News. This was on the, what does it say here? Oh yeah, the December issue of 2009 on page 68. You'll actually see this old girl. And there she is. I was on her debut, not even quite finished yet. At this particular state, the car was still uncapped. But it sparked the eye of one Jeff Koch. who is a really nice guy, fantastic rider. If you get a chance, or if you read this article, you know more about this car than most people do. It's a fun car. And coming around this side of the car, well, you see the whole car is basically all closed up, so you can just get an idea as to how she looks. And she is running Mustang wheels from 2005. Those are GT wheels with ZR rated rubber, and they are 245/45 17s. And they fit perfect with the car. The wheel's not too big for the vehicle, so everything is really in proportion. Proportion is really important. Also, we got rid of all of the chrome and the stainless and pretty well blacked everything out. Again, giving it some of that modern look. And now we're going to show you the assembly of the shaker, which is due to go on this car. So again, as we were saying, we like to keep things looking stock, so we actually found on eBay a stock hat for the Cobra Torino, and we just ordered the Cobra Jet badges, which are going to be sitting right here on the side of the vehicle. And this lower piece of metal here is the actual attachment plate, which is going to hold it to the assembly of the shaker itself. And we like to make things as easy as possible, so we look at actual Ford parts. And you'll see that this filter looks like any other filter, and it basically is. This is an air filter for a 5-liter car. So we took the measurements of this particular filter so that when you service your car, you can just get a filter real easy. You don't have to order one from God knows who and when it's going to get to you. So if we look at the assembly of the car, you can see where the air is actually going to flow into this big pocket through the cavities of the shaker, obviously. Filter its way down and go through the tube, and it's going to come out this large mandrel bent piece of pipe where this is going to feed the mass airflow. And this is a drain tube, so you don't get no water in your engine for vapor lock. And it's got other little tubes here to catch water on the outside. So this is almost ready to install on the vehicle. This basically is a one-off. However, if you wanted, this could actually be built to install onto your car. It's just one of those labor-extensive things. This car was also flashed and dyno-tuned by NextGen. The owner and operator of the company is Matthew Marr. Great guy to work with. And that's pretty much it as far as what we have to show basically what this car has. So what we're going to do now is we're going to button the car up, close the hood, put the wheel back on, things of certain nature, so that we can actually take the car for a drive and show you just what a kick she is to run. A real fun car.